Death Stranding. This game boasts captivating characters, a grandiose world, and a heartwarming, twist-filled storyline. Its immersive package delivery adventure has earned it the nickname Walking Simulator from fans who love it. When players strap on heavy cargo, trek across mountains and rivers, and finally climb over that last hill, accompanied by a beautiful soundtrack, a city slowly comes into view. The tension built up along the journey is released in that moment. Players in the real world can almost feel the protagonist's exhaustion and the relief that follows. In this video, I will recap the full storyline of the game. Even if you haven't played it, you'll experience an adventure worthy of a cinematic masterpiece. The story is set in a future version of America. In this world, when people die, their souls travel to the beach, the gateway to the next cycle of reincarnation. A catastrophic event known as the Death Stranding occurs almost simultaneously worldwide. In New York, it creates a massive crater, yet strangely, there are no remnants of rubble or ash near the impact zone. This Death Stranding event causes countless souls stranded on the beach to return to the world of the living. Wait, is it an eternal Halloween? Endless fun, trick or treat. And these spirits returning to the world of the living are called stranded things, or BTs for short. They are like invisible zombies, and when they consume the living, they cause massive void outs, catastrophic explosions. Accompanying the void outs is the emergence of chiralium, an extremely hazardous substance. Chiralium poses serious risks to human health, leading to mental instability and memory loss. This substance also forms chiral clouds, which completely block communication and bring down timefall. As the name suggests, timefall accelerates the flow of time for anything it touches. Humans rapidly age, while buildings and machinery deteriorate at various rates. Once timefall interacts with objects, it transforms into ordinary rainwater. Typically, BTs appear alongside timefall, creating even more danger. Under such extreme survival conditions, humanity has been forced to retreat underground to endure. Following the Death Stranding event, once reliable automated systems and drones cease to function. Humanity now has no choice but to place its hope in an age-old profession: courier delivery. The story's protagonist, Sam, is a freelance courier. Sam is not only ruggedly handsome and physically imposing, but also a repatriate. His soul, upon reaching the beach, can freely return to his body. In other words, Sam has the power of unlimited resurrection. Wait, so he's like a hero from League of Legends or Dota? Sam is out delivering a package when he notices an inverted rainbow hanging ominously in the sky. This marks the arrival of the timefall, which causes rapid aging and the terrifying BTs. Realizing the danger, Sam slams on the gas pedal. He narrowly makes it to a cave just before the rain soaks him entirely, but the tension doesn't end there. Sam becomes alarmed as the BTs continue to pursue him. Since ordinary humans can't see BTs, their presence is only detectable through their phantom footprints on the ground. Sam picks up a family photograph, but suddenly, a ghostly hand grabs hold of him. She's a stunning woman. After the BTs leave, the woman introduces herself as Fragile. Fragile is not only the owner of Fragile Express, a private courier company, but also a high-level Dooms user. Following the Death Stranding event, some humans began to exhibit superhuman abilities, known as Dooms. Fragile, for example, can see BTs and harness the unique time-bending properties of Dooms to achieve teleportation. Sam, on the other hand, is a second-tier Dooms user, meaning he can only sense the presence of BTs. When either of them comes into contact with chiralium or uses their special abilities, they exhibit allergy-like symptoms, such as uncontrollable tears. Fragile invites him to join her private courier company. She even shares her favorite cryptobiotes with him as a token of goodwill. However, Sam, used to the freedom of freelance work, has no desire to become a corporate drone. He also has no interest in getting too close to this long-legged, curvy woman. Sam has always suffered from a condition known as aphenphosophobia, a fear of physical touch, and prefers to keep his distance from others. Fragile, in an attempt to win him over, reveals that her body below the neck has been aged by timefall, a visible reminder of her sacrifices, but Sam remains unfazed. He refuses her offer, slings his cargo onto his back, and resumes his delivery route. Sam's next destination is the Central Knot City. However, before he has a chance to rest, he receives a new high-priority delivery. The Bridges organization, affiliated with the US government, hands him a fresh corpse. Since corpses that remain untreated for over 48 hours transform into BTs, they must urgently transport the body to a crematorium for incineration. On the way to the crematorium, the corpse begins emitting chiralium, triggering a time fall. What follows is a swarm of BTs, which overturns their cargo vehicle. The process of being consumed by a BT is excruciatingly painful, so one of the bridge's employees opts to use a knife to end his life. Despite his efforts, the employee is consumed by a massive BT, causing a devastating void-out explosion. For Sam, however, this is just another day. After returning from the beach to the land of the living, Sam finds himself standing at the edge of a massive crater caused by the explosion. In his hands, he now holds a pod containing a BB. These are unborn babies whose mothers died during pregnancy. This unique circumstance places the babies in a liminal state between life and death, making them a bridge between the world of the living and the deceased. Through a connection with BBs, even ordinary people can detect BTs. Following this harrowing incident, Sam is taken to capital Knot City, where he is introduced to Deadman, a researcher. Deadman assigns him a new order. The current president of the United States wishes to see Sam. It is revealed that Sam was adopted by the president during his childhood. Sam once had a marriage with Lucy, a psychologist who treated him. Lucy eventually became pregnant with Sam's child. Tragically, both Lucy and their unborn child perished in a void-out explosion. Devastated by the loss, Sam retreated into isolation and became a courier. When Sam reunites with his adoptive mother, the president, she speaks her last words about her daughter Amelie, Sam's sister. Throughout his life, Sam has frequently connected with Amelie through dreams, visiting her beach. Amelie would often sing to Sam, offering him comfort and companionship, making her the closest person to him in this fractured world. 3 years prior, Amelie began a journey across America, traveling from east to west in an effort to rebuild the delivery network. Her goal was to restore communication between cities and reunite a fragmented and isolated America. However, Amelie encountered major challenges along the way, which is why the president called Sam back. Yet Sam, seeking only a quiet and ordinary life, had no interest in America's future. He planned to refuse the president's request. Before he could, the president suddenly leaped from her bed and clung to Sam. Just as Sam was about to reject her plea, the president passed away in his arms. Following this, Deadman and the security captain, codenamed Die-Hardman, asked Sam to transport the president's body to the crematorium. However, the crematorium was located deep in the mountains on an incredibly treacherous route. Sam carried the body on his back and began the long journey. Fortunately, the scenery along the way was beautiful, and the gentle sound of streams flowing made the trek feel less lonely for Sam. After a long and arduous journey, Sam finally delivered the president's remains to the crematorium. Deadman also instructed Sam to incinerate the BB left behind by the former Bridges employee. To Deadman and most others, BBs were merely tools for detecting BTs. With this particular BB showing signs of malfunction, it was deemed unnecessary to keep it. However, Sam couldn't bring himself to destroy it. To him, the BB inside the pod was not just a tool, it was a life. At the same time, a large number of BTs began to converge on the crematorium. In order to escape quickly, Sam connected to the BB. With BB's help, he was finally able to clearly see the ghost-like BTs. After a difficult escape, Sam returned to the capital. However, every time Sam connected to the BB, he would see a refined man who resembled Hannibal, accompanied by a gentle melody. This man was someone who took great care in cooking and enjoying meals, living life to the fullest, and constantly chattering in an elegant manner. Finally, after 10 years, Sam reunited with the only family he had left in this world, Amelie. At this point, Amelie had inherited their mother's will and become the new president of the United States. Over the past 3 years, Amelie had led the first Bridges expedition team westward, nearly crossing the entire country before reaching the West Coast Knot City. Along the way, they installed chiral network terminals at various Knot cities. This network not only restored communications, but also utilized the timeless properties of the beach to enable massive data transmission. Combined with 3D printing, it allowed users to fabricate various items using available materials. Just as they were one step away from connecting all the Knot cities, an extremist group ambushed and wiped out the first expedition team. Even Amelie was taken and held captive. Although Sam had no desire to clean up such a mess, Amelie was his only family left. Reluctantly, Sam accepted the mission. His task was to travel to the West Coast to rescue Amelie while activating chiral network terminals with the Cupid connector along the way to link the remaining Knot cities to the network. To help Sam successfully reach the West Coast, Deadman repaired the previously malfunctioning BB. From that point on, Sam became fully occupied with connecting communication networks across America. As a dedicated delivery man of Federal Express, time was of the essence. Sam strapped on his cargo, enjoying the scenery, while trudging through mountains and rivers, adhering strictly to the principle of one-day delivery to ensure on-time delivery. Even when faced with a $0 shopping squad eyeing goods worth less than $950, Sam showed no mercy, leaving them running for their lives. BB provided Sam with significant assistance, and over time, a bond began to form between them. Thinking of his deceased child, Sam decided to give BB the name Lou, after his late daughter. Every time he connected with Lou, Sam continued to see the handsome Hannibal-like man. By now, he had grown accustomed to it. Sam eventually succeeded in connecting the entire eastern region of America to the Chiral network. Next, he had to board a boat to cross the lake and continue his journey toward the central regions. Sam once again encountered the long-legged, well-proportioned Fragile. While on his journey, a masked man named Higgs suddenly blocked Sam's path. Higgs was none other than the leader of the extremist group, holding Sam's sister Amelie captive. Higgs also possessed advanced Doom's abilities. Not only could he teleport, even summoned massive BT squids. After leaving a BT behind, Higgs teleported away. However, Sam, a courier with a taste for grilled squid, couldn't have been happier. He promptly used a grenade to grill the giant squid BT to perfection. Fragile began to share her story. It turned out that before Higgs became the leader of the extremists, he had worked with Fragile on a cargo transport project. However, for reasons unknown, Higgs betrayed her and took everything she had. Now Fragile's only desire was revenge. Later, Sam reached the Salt Lake Knot City, where Fragile helped him connect to the Chiral network, enabling fast travel between connected points. Sam built highways and constantly delivered packages to strangers, gradually convincing them to join the new United States. During this time, he learned that after Fragile partnered with Higgs, she unknowingly delivered a nuclear bomb to a city. By the time she realized it was too late, the bomb detonated, destroying the city and leaving Fragile to shoulder the blame. This fueled her desire to kill Higgs more than anyone else. After this heartfelt conversation, Sam and Fragile grew closer and became friends. In the following days, Sam continued delivering packages across the central region. His missions included carrying a young girl through dangerous timefall to reunite her with her loved one. One day, a new courier approached Sam, claiming to have an order that needed to be delivered personally to Fragile. Upholding his courier ethics, Sam didn't check the contents of the package. He traveled south to a distribution center to wait for Fragile. While resting, it dawned on him that the new courier was actually Higgs, the extremist leader. As Fragile arrived, they quickly opened the package together, only to find a nuclear bomb counting down. Sam sped away with the bomb, driving it out of the city and hurling the truck into a tar pit to neutralize the threat. Seeing that Sam had endured a similar ordeal, Fragile decided to share her past experience. Back then, she had a chance to save the city. Carrying the nuclear bomb to a safe location, she was caught by Higgs, who gave her two choices: return the bomb to the city or carry it through the deadly timefall to dispose of it in a pit, sacrificing her own body to save innocent lives. Fragile chose to save the city. She donned a protective hood and carried the bomb through the timefall, but her body was irreversibly aged and scarred in the process. Hearing her story moved Sam deeply. He accepted the insect she offered as a token of friendship and swallowed it without hesitation. After completing the connection to the southern Knot City, a massive tornado swept Sam away. When he regained consciousness, he found himself in the middle of a scorched battlefield. Gunfire and explosions echoed around him, and even old tanks were rolling by. It seemed as though Sam had somehow been transported from Death Stranding into Battlefield 1. However, what happened next was beyond belief. The man resembling Hannibal, Cliff, who had always appeared whenever Sam connected to BB Lou, was now here in person. It became clear that Cliff's objective was to reclaim BB Lou. Sam managed to defeat the relentless Cliff, but Cliff suddenly sprang back to life, attempting to wrest BB Lou from Sam's arms. At that moment, another memory surfaced. The once careful and protective Cliff had on one occasion tried to escape with BB, but was intercepted by a group of soldiers. The memory abruptly ended there, leaving a lingering question: could BB Lou truly be Cliff's child? At this point, Mama, the hardware engineer who had been assisting Sam throughout his journey, Lockney contacted him. At Mama's invitation, Sam made his way to her lab. However, the moment he stepped inside, a BT in the shape of a baby suddenly appeared on the ceiling. It turned out that the baby BT was actually Mama's daughter, and behind this eerie scene lay a tragic story. Mama had a twin sister, Lockney. The two were conjoined twins, sharing not only a heart, but also a connection to the same beach. This special bond allowed them to communicate with each other no matter how far apart they were. Using this unique ability, the sisters co-designed the Cupid connector. Mama developed the hardware, while Lockney handled the software. Without them, the Chiral network would never have been possible. However, tragedy struck. Lockney's partner died in an accident. To comfort her grieving sister, Mama, who could feel Lockney's emotions through their connection, decided to carry forward Lockney's love. They devised a plan for Lockney to have a child with her deceased partner. Both sisters had reproductive challenges. Mama couldn't produce eggs, and Lockney's uterus couldn't support pregnancy. They used Lockney's eggs and the frozen sperm of her partner, and Mama carried the baby to term. But just before Mama could give birth, extremists bombed the hospital. Trapped in the ruins, Mama gave birth to a baby who had already passed away, and the child became a baby BT. Since then, Mama's child has been tethered to her via an invisible umbilical cord. This severed Mama and Lockney's psychic connection, replacing it with Mama's link to the BT baby. Unaware of the truth, Lockney believed that Mama simply didn't want to return the child to her. Misunderstanding grew, and their psychic bond was cut off. Now Mama wished to free her daughter's soul and reunite with her sister Lockney. She asked Sam to use his blood to sever the umbilical cord connecting her to the BT baby. Sam immediately agreed, not because the beautiful sisters were stunning to look at, but because of his deep empathy. After the BT baby was freed, Sam prepared to bring Mama to Lockney for a reunion. However, the extremist leader Higgs appeared once again, summoning 3 lion-shaped BTs before vanishing. Sam defeated the BTs and, showing his considerate nature, took Mama for a relaxing dip in a natural hot spring afterward. The two sisters were finally reunited, resolving the long-standing rift between them. However, Mama's life was nearing its end. In truth, Mama had already died in the ruins on the day she gave birth to her child. The only reason she remained alive was her connection to the BT baby. Now that the umbilical cord had been severed, her life could no longer be sustained. Just as you and I, watching from behind the screen, feel the sorrow of losing such a beautiful soul, a miracle occurred in the next moment. Being conjoined twins, Mama and Lockney's souls fused together. This meant that Mama hadn't truly died. She and Lockney now shared the same body, just like when they were conjoined twins. Afterward, Deadman brought some alarming news. BB Lou was experiencing severe issues. As a being not entirely belonging to the world of the living, BB acts as a bridge between the two worlds. However, during the journey, the emotionally distant Sam developed a deep bond with BB Lou, seeing it as a true partner. This emotional connection with the living world was causing BB to lean increasingly toward the living side. This meant Lou would begin to grow and transition from being a BB to a fully fledged baby. If left unchecked, BB Lou would stop functioning within days. Moreover, forcibly removing Lou from the pod would carry a 70% fatality rate. The best solution was to return BB Lou to its original state, situated between life and death. However, the cost would be wiping BB's memories. In Deadman's view, BBs were merely tools and not something to form emotional attachments to. Reluctantly, Sam agreed to the procedure. Deadman went to the bathroom to clean himself up. Surprisingly, he gave Sam a look, prompting Sam to follow him into the bathroom. It turned out Deadman was trying to avoid surveillance. He revealed that he had been secretly investigating the first BB experiments. These initial experiments had ended tragically, causing a void out that claimed the life of the sitting president. As a result, the BB project was officially terminated. However, after Sam's adoptive mother took office as president, she secretly resumed the BB experiments. BBs weren't just for detecting BTs, they were also used to interface with the Chiral network, enabling quicker access to the beach. Unfortunately, this technology eventually fell into the hands of extremists. This revelation led Deadman to start doubting the security chief, Die-Hardman. His identity was shrouded in mystery. No one had ever seen his true face or even knew his real name. After the president's death, Die-Hardman took control of the highest level authority. This raised serious suspicions about how much truth Die-Hardman might be hiding, as well as the true purpose of connecting the Chiral network. Sam continued his solitary journey across the snowy mountains, connecting nearby shelters in the mountainous region to the network. As he climbed to a mountaintop cabin to meet with Deadman, a sudden tornado engulfed both Sam and Deadman. This time, it wasn't a Battlefield 1 scenario, it was Battlefield 5. World War II, tanks, eerie creatures, and skeleton-like soldiers created an inexplicable Lovecraftian atmosphere. In the dark sewers, the man named Clifford reappeared, beginning his hunt for Sam once again. Deadman was visibly shaken and revealed his secret to Sam. As it turns out, Deadman is a bioengineered human. Whenever a part of his body deteriorates, he replaces it with organs from deceased individuals. These transplants now make up 70% of his body. Because of this, Deadman had always viewed BB as nothing more than a tool, but after meeting Sam, his perspective began to shift. To evade the skeletal soldiers, Deadman connected to BB, forming an emotional bond in the process. He finally understood why BB meant so much to Sam and no longer regarded BB as a mere tool. As for the battlefield they were trapped in, Deadman speculated it was a special beach formed by the lingering anger and resentment of soldiers who had died in battle. Once again, Sam managed to defeat Clifford. However, with his last ounce of strength, Clifford lunged at Sam, crying out for his child. Sam ripped off Clifford's dog tag, and upon connecting with BB, he saw memories that revealed the truth. The dog tag matched BB's. Could BB really be Clifford's child? When Sam regained consciousness, he found himself back in a safe house. Sam was now headed to his final destination, the Western Edge Knot City, where Amelie was being held. Once he rescued Amelie, the Chiral network would span across the entire United States. The team's scientist, Hartman, stepped in to assist. Sam discovered that Mama's body showed no signs of decomposition. Hartman speculated that studying her remains could potentially uncover the secrets of the Death Stranding. With that in mind, Sam journeyed to Hartman's home, nestled deep within the snowy mountains. Hartman, a man dedicated to researching beaches and the Death Stranding, experiences a near-death state every 21 minutes, lasting 3 minutes each time. He undergoes this process 60 times a day and has persisted for 10 years. All to repeatedly visit the beach. Years ago, Hartman was in a hospital undergoing surgery when a void-out claimed the lives of his wife and child. The resulting power outage caused his heart to stop, sending him briefly to the beach. On the beach, he saw his wife and child who had died in the void out. Hartman tried to chase after them but was pulled back to life at the last moment by hospital staff. Ever since, his sole purpose has been to reunite with his family, prompting him to continuously enter a near-death state. As long as death could reunite him with his family, Hartman was willing to embrace it. Hartman discovered an umbilical cord-like object on Mama's body, but it turned out not to be the cord connecting Mama to her BT child. Instead, it was a cord secretly taken by Deadman from Sam's adoptive mother, the President, and later placed in Mama's pouch. Mama's body had not decomposed due to the presence of this cord. Hartman came to a shocking conclusion. This cord, which originated from the President, was directly connected to the beach. He called it a strand of death. Earth's life forms had experienced 5 mass extinctions, and the appearance of the strand of death was connected to these events. The most recent Death Stranding might signify the 6th mass extinction. For instance, life forms that survived the extinction events, such as the dinosaurs from 65 million years ago, often had specific individuals with a strand of death. These individuals carrying such strands were known as extinction entities. Extinction entities were catalysts for the Death Stranding phenomenon. In simple terms, the previous 5 mass extinctions were all caused by Death Stranding events initiated by extinction entities. Since the President was an extinction entity, her death meant that the only remaining bearer of such power was likely her daughter, Amelie. Given that Higgs, a radical extremist with a vision of global destruction, had managed to imprison Amelie, it was clear that his goal was to use her to trigger the 6th mass extinction. Without wasting any time, Sam set out immediately to rescue Amelie. He arrived at the West Knot City, completing the Chiral network's coverage across the entire United States. However, Higgs had already captured Amelie. Emboldened by his success, Higgs arrogantly revealed his true intentions. It turned out that the Chiral network, which was supposedly meant to reconnect America, was not a tool for revival, but for destruction. The network would merge everyone's beach into a single unified beach. Once a void out occurred, it would be as if every person became a nuclear bomb. At that moment, Earth would face the largest extinction event in its history. Facing the BT giant summoned by Higgs, Sam engaged in an intense battle. Higgs continued to hold Amelie hostage, opening fire wildly. Thankfully, BB Lou used the detector to shield Sam from the bullets. However, Higgs turned his gun directly on BB Lou, shooting her before retreating to Amelie's beach. Throughout the journey, BB Lou had become much more than just a companion to Sam. She was someone he had come to see as his daughter. Sam immediately transported to find Fragile, as Amelie had given him a dream catcher during their childhood. This token, deeply meaningful to both of them, allowed Sam to use Fragile's abilities to travel to Amelie's beach. Higgs addressed Sam, declaring that the sixth mass extinction was inevitable. He claimed that from the moment Amelie, as an extinction entity, was born, humanity had no more than a few millennia left to survive. His actions, he said, were merely to save humanity those extra years of struggle. Furious, Sam charged at Higgs, engaging him in a fierce showdown. In the end, Higgs fell to Sam's iron fists. The rescued Amelie revealed the truth to Sam. She was never actually held captive by the extremists. Instead, she had conspired with Die-Hardman to deceive Sam, aiming to have him connect the entire United States to the Chiral network and unite the country once more. Sam didn't mind though. He was simply glad to finally run alongside his sister Amelie on the shores of their fading youth. However, upon reaching a small hill, Amelie asked Sam to wait at the bottom. Unable to shake his concern, Sam climbed up after her, only to witness an unbelievable scene. Die-Hardman, the security captain, was pointing a gun at the supposedly deceased president, accusing her of failing to unite the world and ruining everything instead. Suddenly, Cliff appeared, leading his squad of skeletal soldiers. Yet, to Sam's shock, Die-Hardman immediately dropped to his knees in front of Cliff. Cliff pointed his gun at the president, demanding she return his child. The president, however, remained silent and simply pointed towards Sam. Then, without warning, Amelie appeared and forcefully pushed Sam back into the realm of the living. Upon waking, Sam immediately recounted everything to Deadman. To Sam, it seemed that Cliff had not only taken Die-Hardman hostage, but also seized Amelie once again. Could it be that the mastermind behind everything wasn't Higgs, but Cliff? However, there was no time to dwell on this out. To prevent the sixth mass extinction, the priority was to return to the eastern region and rescue Amelie. Sam began his journey back to Lake Knot City. Meanwhile, Deadman uncovered key information about Cliff. Cliff was a former member of the US Special Forces who retired after the Death Stranding incident. With his pregnant wife left in a vegetative state, Cliff placed all his hopes on the Bridges organization. At that time, the president was conducting the BB experiments. Desperate to save his wife and unborn child, Cliff handed over his 6-month-old fetus to the government, believing it would secure their survival. However, the initial purpose of BBs, as tools to detect BTs and prevent void outs, was merely a facade. The true function of BBs was as catalysts for the operation of the chiral network. When Amelie led the first expedition westward, each terminal installation came at the cost of a sacrificed infant. When Cliff discovered the truth, he attempted to reclaim his child, but ultimately failed. This explains why Sam's memories of Cliff are so conflicting, sometimes showing a kind and caring father, and other times a desperate man fleeing with BB. It could also be the reason Cliff might seek revenge on the world by holding Amelie and Die-Hardman hostage. With these unanswered questions swirling in his mind, Sam approached Lake Knot City. However, another tornado appeared. Our Hannibal, or rather Cliff, made yet another stylish and dramatic entrance. After Cliff was defeated once again, Sam, moved by his tragic story, decided it was time to have a heartfelt conversation with him.
Give me back my baby. Are you Clifford Unger? Who are you? Are you the father? They told me your name was Sam Porter. But you were Sam Bridges. My bridge to the future. Sam, you bring people together. You're their bridge to the future.
Awakened, Sam feels that Cliff doesn't seem to want to harm him, but rather to reveal certain truths. It seems that to uncover everything, he must first find Amelie. At this moment, Die-Hardman takes out the video left by the Hardman before heading to the beach. It turns out that it was Amelie who invited the Hardman to the beach. Neither Sam, Mama, nor the others have ever seen Amelie in the real world. What's even more suspicious is that the president was diagnosed with uterine cancer in her 20s, making it impossible for her to have children. This means the president is not Amelie's mother, in Die-Hardman's view. Since Amelie, an extinction entity, is the source of the Death Stranding, he resolves to confront her for the sake of the nation. He takes the handgun loaded with Sam's blood and accepts her invitation to meet on the beach. At this moment, Fragile appears and tells Sam that during her confrontation with Higgs on the beach, she discovered a shocking truth from Higgs himself. He has been working for Amelie all along. Higgs' powerful abilities were granted to him by Amelie. Everything, from the extremist nuclear bombing of the central region to the extinction events, was orchestrated by Amelie. Now Sam must hurry back to Capital Knot City to reunite with the others and prevent the final stranding. Based on the research into Amelie's beach conducted by the newcomers, it appears that her beach exists on a higher level than everyone else's. This suggests that Amelie has the ability to control all other beaches. Both Die-Hardman and Fragile were expelled from the beach by her. At this point, Sam is the only person who can enter the beach. If he cannot convince Amelie, he will have no choice but to kill her for the sake of humanity. However, doing so would mean he is forever trapped on the beach. Through his journey, the friends he met along the way helped Sam overcome his fear of connecting with others. They also showed him that life is not as terrible as he once believed. Perhaps for the people he loves, it is worth making the ultimate sacrifice. Resolute in his decision, Sam entrusts BB Lou to his friends. With Fragile's assistance, he transports himself back to Amelie's beach, where she has been waiting. There, Amelie begins to reveal the truth about herself. It turns out that Amelie and the president are, in fact, the same person. Her physical body is that of the president of the United States, who is also Sam's adoptive mother, while her soul resides on the beach as Amelie. As the extinction entity of the sixth mass extinction, Amelie's very existence is tied to the annihilation of all life on Earth. She admits to being the mastermind behind everything. Knowing that the next extinction event would naturally occur thousands of years from now, Amelie could no longer endure the unbearable loneliness of waiting. She devised every possible plan, using Sam to accelerate the extinction process so she could finally escape her solitude. With the Chiral network now linking the beaches across the entire United States, Earth is on the brink of destruction. Amelie presents Sam with two choices: either stand by and witness the end of the world with her, or kill her now, temporarily sparing humanity from extinction. However, this would only delay the inevitable. After saying this, Amelie hands Die-Hardman's handgun to Sam, leaving the decision in his hands. She then walks toward the ocean. Watching the woman who had once been his companion and sister figure, Sam hesitates before finally pulling the trigger.
I'm here for you. Always. Like you were for me.
You found the common thread, the strand that links them together. And you did that the only way possible. To live life one day at a time. Thank you, Sam. A gun won't help you here, but it still has a role to play. It was the bonds between people that brought the world together. And if that is what matters most to you, then I will stay here on this beach. I will shut myself in and the rest of you out.
Shut yourself in, come on.
Once the last stranding starts, it can't be stopped. I can't go with you. All I can do is try to spare you the worst.
Why do you have to stay on the beach?
Sam, I am the beach. And I must stay here and ensure that the extinction happens. Even if it takes tens or hundreds of thousands of years.
Alone?
That's what an EE does. If I had just done my job, none of this would have happened. But I couldn't take it anymore. I got so tired of waiting, and I figured that no one would blame me if I just got it all over with. So, that's what I did.
Sounds like hell.
But you and the others came together, connected. And you may be living on borrowed time, but you still have hope. Before each of the Big Five, life rebelled. They fought back, evolved in order to survive. The extinction isn't just an ending. It's an opportunity. And if I have to pay the price for that, to be the sacrifice, then so be it. Even if we aren't together, we will always be connected. Goodbye, Sam.
In the end, Amelie chose to bear the burden of eternal loneliness on the beach alone. Sam was sent back to his own beach. However, no matter how much Sam ran, he could never leave his beach. Gradually, he began to feel the despair that Amelie must have experienced, being forever isolated on the beach. Unable to endure it any longer, Sam thought of the handgun and pulled the trigger against his head, only to find the gun had no bullets. It seemed as though Sam would be trapped there forever, but his friends never gave up on him. Using the handgun as a clue, Die-Hardman managed to locate Sam's position. Bringing BB with him, he pulled Sam back to the world of the living. Not long after Sam's return to reality, Die-Hardman was inaugurated as the new president. After the inauguration ceremony, Die-Hardman approached Sam, revealing that he had discovered something in the records. Cliff had been killed by the assistant to President Bridget Strand, John, and that John was none other than Die-Hardman himself, who had just taken the oath as president. At that moment, Die-Hardman stepped forward, confessing to Sam the pain and guilt he had carried in his heart all along.
I killed Captain Clifford Unger. He, the captain, saved my life. You know why they call me Die-Hardman. Because he wouldn't let me die. He brought my sorry ass back home every time. And I loved him as much as I loved her. And when he stared me down, that ghost, I knew he was here to kill me, to make it right. And why shouldn't he? Why didn't he? He couldn't save his kid, his baby. And that's what brought him back. I guess when he saw I was trying to do my part for America, he remembered who he was. And he forgave me. God! But I don't deserve it, God damn it! There is no atoning for what I've done. God.
Next, Sam faces a decision of his own. The dead man informs him that BB Lou has reached its operational limit and shows no signs of life, ordered to transport the pod to the incinerator. As Sam looks at BB Lou, who had accompanied him through thick and thin, he must come to terms with the reality before him.
Come on, Lou. One last delivery.
With a heavy heart, Sam retraced the path he first took to the incinerator, embarking on what he thought would be his final journey. Arriving at the incinerator, Sam decided to connect with Lou one last time. Strangely, even though Lou was supposedly lifeless, Sam still witnessed fragments of Cliff's memories. This time, Sam uncovered the truth about himself. In the memories, Cliff was still in the dark, believing that the government would save his wife and child. Die-Hardman was shocked when he encountered Cliff, his former commanding officer during their military service, who had saved his life multiple times. Out of gratitude for the debt he owed Cliff, Die-Hardman revealed the truth about BB to him and handed over his own gun, urging Cliff to take the child and escape. Cliff, burdened with grief, decided to free his wife, who had been reduced to a vegetative state from her suffering. He then immediately tried to flee with the child. However, they were discovered. Cornered by the guards, Cliff realized there was no way out and returned to the ward. A helpless Sam could only stand by as a silent observer, watching everything unfold. Desperate, Cliff forcibly removed the child from the pod. Instinctively, Sam stepped in front of Cliff to shield the baby. It was at that moment Sam finally understood. The memories Lou had shown him during every connection were not just fragments of Cliff's past, they were Sam's own memories all along.
Let it go. Please.
Shoot him! I gave you an order. Shoot him!
You told me your name was Sam Porter. But you're Sam Bridges. My son. My bridge to the future. But not you, Sam. You bring people together. You're their bridge to the future. And mine. Come on, Sam. Stand up.
Is this me?
The president forced Die-Hardman to pull the trigger, which tragically resulted in young Sam's death. Overwhelmed with guilt, Amelie found Sam on the beach and sent him back to the world of the living, thus turning him into a repatriate. Watching this from a distance, Cliff finally found peace and was able to pass on. At this moment, Sam quickly removed Lou from the pod and desperately tried to revive the child, but despite his efforts, there was no response. Consumed by despair, Sam held Lou tightly in his arms. Then miraculously, Lou came back to life. It turned out that Amelie, sensing Sam's deep sorrow, brought the child back to the living world. From that moment, Lou was no longer a tool, but a person. As Sam emerged from the facility, the rain began to clear, and for the first time, the rainbow in the sky was no longer inverted. This recap of the game comes to an end. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.